Hello, and welcome to another Monday night stream. Let me just make sure this is working. When it lets me. Yeah, okay, good. A few minutes late starting because I was having some issues getting my controller set up. Obviously, this is I need a joystick for this game. Well, you don't need it, but it's my preferred way to play it, and I had to get it set up and configured, so there we go. Taking a break this week from Mysteries of the Sith because I really want to try out this X-Wing Virtual Machine game. It was released a few days ago. I only just downloaded it today, and what it does is it lets you it recreates the X-Wing game. You obviously need the content. I'm using the GOG edition, so you need to own a copy. But you can download the X-Wing Virtual Machine and the high-res graphics pack, which I did both of those, and basically it will run the game, but it'll look a lot better. I did try it out very briefly, just to make sure it worked, because I didn't want to look silly on stream, and it seems to run really well. So I'm excited to give this game a proper try, and I remember playing this game as a kid, going way back, so I'm expecting a lot of nostalgia playing this. So let's give it a try. We'll watch the intro and go from there. So the virtual machine is free, as the disclaimer just said. Now I'm going to talk through the opening crawl music just to make sure it doesn't cause any problems for the copyright bots, because you never know. So they have remastered the old MIDI music, so you can play the original MIDI music if you like, or you can use the remastered version, which is what I've set it to, just to give it a hopefully better sound. But this brings back a lot of memories just reading this crawl. I don't know if I did read something about the cutscenes being worked on and enhanced, but I don't think I enabled that. I did try and find the setting for that in the settings, or maybe I misread it, I'm not sure, but I ran out of time before the stream to properly get that set up. So we've got the old cutscenes that will play, which they still look pretty good, for a 30-year-old game. Definitely some nostalgia here with this old intro. I remember watching it every single time just because I really liked watching it. I can't remember how many hours I spent playing this game as a kid. And then of course finding mission builders online. I wonder how easy it is to import your own missions into this version. I'll have to figure that out. I did enjoy making missions, my own missions, and downloading others that people had made. Yeah, that brings back memories. Alright, we'll skip the credits. Now, one of the things I noticed, so I had to make sure this game worked before trying, before streaming. So I did play around with it for about 10 minutes earlier. I like the new menus and stuff. You can customize your astromech. So you go in here. You can name them. You can choose what kind of head you have. See, I went with the classic R2. Made him red and black, but you can choose any color, really. And you can modify your profile portrait. I remember in the original game you couldn't do that. Every time you created the pilot, you got a random portrait, and you're just kind of stuck with that. So here we are. Maybe I should play a training mission or a historical combat mission before we jump into the actual campaign. Just to give it a try. Yeah, it's just this one I think would be good to just to get the feel for the game. Very quiet in the chat tonight. So those sharp-eyed people will notice that these icons are used throughout Heirs of the Empire when showing maps and tactical displays. Because I grew up with this game and it was nice to be able to put them in. These ones are obviously enhanced for this VM version of the game, but yeah. Ah, that's pretty funny. I vaguely remember that. You can... Oh, that's nice. Change who the briefing officer is. I guess they haven't done all of the dialogue. Alright, let's go to the hangar. Start the mission. It's very quiet in the chat tonight. I hope everyone's alright. I haven't yeah. Alright. I do remember the original X-Wing game was extremely challenging. I'm assuming the difficulty has not changed with this mod. What's up? Gonna sleep soon. Have a good one. That's alright. Hope you sleep well. It's nice to see you. You can of course catch up with the stream when you wake up. Be here on the channel. Whoops. I remember back when I was playing TIE Fighter, it crashed into a Y-Wing, so maybe this time I'm going to be crashing into TIE Interceptors. Alright, we'll try that again. Oh, maybe I should be streaming a game that requires a lot of focus to not crash. Ah, too late now. These explosions and debris are nice. My understanding is they want to continue working on this VM version to support TIE Fighter as well. So that should be fun. Some transports to destroy. I like the TIE Fighter engine effects as sounds as you get near them and fly by them. So far, so good. Now I do remember missions in X-Wing are on timers. I believe that's all through the campaign and everything, so we have to be careful. Question about the film grain. In the early, there wasn't a deliberate choice with NVIDIA Omniverse. In the early days of using it, I didn't know how to get the best results. So now that I do, the remaster that's coming out shouldn't have film grain, or at least shouldn't be particularly noticeable. We've got new fighters incoming. Master Luke, good evening. Master Luke is, of course, the voice actor behind Luke Skywalker in Heir to the Empire, and as always it's good when you show up here. This week taking a break from Mysteries of the Sith to try out this X-Wing virtual machine mod. It was released a few days ago. I downloaded it today. How does this VM work? Basically, you download the VM version of the game, which is the engine and the graphics, and there's a high-res graphics pack as well, which I'm also using. And then you need a copy of the original game as well. So what the VM version does is it loads the mission and voice files from the original game, but then runs it through this new engine instead. If you've ever used Scum VM, it's very similar. We'll see this VM version is completely free. Obviously the original version is not, but you can get it for next to nothing on Steam or GOG.com. I'm using the GOG version of the game, but it doesn't matter. I'm assuming if you still have the very original files from the original floppy disks, you could probably use those as well. I don't have those available to test it out. guess proton torpedoes aren't so effective against TIE bombers. But look at the trails that they leave. I like that. Okay, that did track quite nicely. Maybe they've improved the AI on missiles, because I remember they weren't that great at following the targets. For long periods of time, or maybe my memory is just off, but I was quite impressed by how long the missiles did, well, the torpedoes did track. Oh yeah, we've got this freighter up here. Oh, anti-missiles. Alright, we'll take out the TIEs first. And then the freighter, and then we'll be done. Yeah, TIE Fighter is on the to-do list. I don't believe it's working just yet, but I did see it on their release information that it's something that they still want to do and they're still working on. I don't know how far away it is, but if it's anything as good as this, I think it'll be really a lot of fun. I don't even know you. And video on this. Yes, so with chapter 17 I switched over to Omniverse for the space rendering, and then with 18 for NVIDIA Omniverse for all of it. But it did take me a few chapters to figure it all out. So if you go and watch chapter 31, that's probably the best thing I've ever done, not just in the series but ever. And you shouldn't see any film grain. Alright, mission complete. My first fighter sim was called Fury. Yeah, I remember that. And I was sidewise and joystick for it. I had so much fun with that game. I don't think I ever played it, but I do remember the game. Alright. Nice hyperspace effects. For some reason, Fury 3 wouldn't work on my computer. I remember trying the demo and I can't remember why. So I'm a little envious that you did get to play it, because it did look good. What resolution, sample count, AA methods is resolution sample count is determined by you when you're starting the render, and I wasn't setting it high enough. Well, I wasn't setting the sample count high enough, so that's why there's a lot of grain. Mission success. Everything destroyed. Okay. Let's try the second one. These are good training missions. Very easy to get working and have been enjoying a lot. Is the game lag only the stream? It's the stream. It's showing me an error message here, and I'm not really sure what to do about it. The game is running absolutely perfectly smooth. Oh, hang on, might be able to up the settings in see if this will work. Yeah, so I don't know how it looks on the stream, but the game itself is running perfectly fine. Right, let's give the second mission a try. I've just upped the bitrate on the stream. Maybe that will make things better. Do you see that? The planets zoomed past as dropped out of hyperspace. That's a nice effect as well. Right, we've got 10 minutes to destroy the tyres. That planet looks pretty good in the background. Don't really have time to stop and admire it properly. There we go. Looks like Tatooine. I remember in the original games, planets were just little discs that they were tiny in the background, so you didn't really feel like you were flying anywhere near them. Yeah, I know. That was nice, having the two tyres right next to each other. How is the stream looking now? Is it any better? Tricky. One tyre left. one. Oh, there we go. Mission complete. I remember I had an F-22 Raptor flight sim I couldn't even take off. Way too risky for me to handle Asia. Yeah, some of those flight sims, you probably could learn to fly the real aircraft. Or you would need to know how to fly the real aircraft to actually play the game. Well, that was fun. A bit, okay. Yeah. I can up the setting again, see if that makes a difference. It's not showing the error message anymore. Let's have a look. Let's try that one. Right, I've upped the bitrate again, so maybe that'll make things even better. Let's try this mission. Back when it is pronounced Coruscant. Mines. Alright. They did. So it was Imperial Center, and Coruscant was pronounced Coruscant until the Phantom Menace. It was introduced in Heir to the Empire, but no one knew how to pronounce it, so it became Coruscant, because that was how it was written. But it wasn't until the Phantom Menace that they changed it. But George Lucas liked the name, so he kept it from the books. Right, let's try this one. Mines are a pain, so I may not be responding to the chat for a moment while I... Oh, never mind. That's a lot smoother. Okay, good. I really hate mines, so I'm going to skip this mission. Mines in all of the X-Wing games were a nightmare. I always dread the missions when they show up, so... I just want to have fun with this first session, so let's go with this one. Okay. Yeah, I really did speak to you soon. Okay. 3 X-Wings. Obviously you can't do it yet. But maybe later on in a later version of this virtual machine that you'll be able to customize your loadout. Taku, that's exactly what this is. Someone has created a new game engine for X-Wing with much improved graphics and all of that, but you can load the original missions into it, so you play the original missions but through this new version. It's called X-Wing Virtual Machine. It was released just a few days ago. So instead of playing Mysteries of the Sith tonight, I thought I'd give this a try, and I really like it. So the cutscenes are still original at the moment. I don't know if they're going to improve them. It's just the stream side. On this side, it's, for me, it's running perfectly smooth. But this should give you an idea of how it looks. Can you change the fire rate? Yeah, I can fire like that, or one laser at a time. I generally prefer the 2. Depends on what I have to shoot at. But this is usually a nice balance for dogfighting. But the more you're firing at once, the slower your fire rate is. I'll check this out myself. Yeah, you should. Just Google it and it should come up. My understanding is TIE Fighter support will be coming soon. It's not quite there yet, but you should be able, when it is, you'll just be able to load your TIE Fighter files in as well, which I'm looking forward to that, especially now that I've given this a try. Of course, it's hard to see what's going on in the chat and play this at the same time. So, if I'm a bit slow responding, I'm sure you'll understand. When you're playing Dark Forces, it's easy to stop for a moment just to catch up on the chat. In this, it's not so easy to do that. I don't know if X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and X-Wing Alliance will also be supported. I think TIE Fighter is obviously the next logical choice though. I'm kind of curious. Well, that was a near miss. Kind of curious how custom missions work in this new version. Don't even know if any mission editors still actually work on mod computers. Something I have to look into. Alright, mission complete. Alright. Let's look at this planet. Looks almost like Coruscant. And a moon over there. Alright, we'll head back to base. How's the render coming along? I almost completed a very long render today. There's another bit to it I need to adjust the focus on it, but I only need to re-render a small part of that. Very close to having half the footage rendered. That's half as in half the episode count, but also half the scene count as well. Because obviously some chapters are longer than others. And I've got 8 episodes now completely edited as well. They're not ready to be released yet because I haven't finished the first one. That needs some additional sound work which I haven't finished yet. I want to have more complete before I start releasing them as well, so I can release them weekly. But I'm very excited about how it's coming along, and if you haven't seen the trailer I released on May the 4th, do check it out on the channel. Alright, we'll play one more mission before I wrap up the stream, because I'm really having fun with this. Okay, I'm quite intrigued. I don't remember this mission. Alright. Master Luke, nice to see you. Rogue Squadron is fun as well. But I have to admit, I do prefer the cockpit view because it makes you feel like you're in it. But yeah, nice to see you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, good look at that X-Wing over there. Some very impressive detail, especially on those engines. I'm going to try and stay close behind it to see it engage the tyres. That's probably a bad idea. Sneaky. Force is strong with this one. I have to say, I'm really loving this. There you go. Get closer and inspect it. There's my custom droid in the background. Got another one. Oh, we've got a Star Destroyer. That should make things more fun. And it's launching TIE bombers. Well, we don't get too close to that Star Destroyer, but I think we're close enough to engage the TIEs now. I do like the way that the music adapts. Also, it was like that in the original game as well. Oh, thank you, Gold Squadron, for not sticking around to help. I think the enemy pilot AI has improved, because I remember it would often just do the same maneuvers, and I'm not noticing that here. Or maybe it's just I haven't played the original game in so long, I don't remember what those maneuvers were. Trying to shoot TIE fighters is a pain. Not much from behind, they don't have much of a profile to hit. Star Destroyers launching more TIEs. Let's take out those TIE bombers first. And something exploded over there. I guess gold did complete the mission, so that's one objective down. Almost got hit by friendly fire. Antonio, yeah, that seems to be an issue with the stream. The game itself is running fine. I guess it's because there's a lot happening on the screen all at once. Take out that other one. Look at that, the ships look with the planet behind. Take out the bomber. Nope, they're taking out the bomber. Alright, Star Destroyers launched some more bombers. Oh, hello Antonio as well, yeah. So it's hard to concentrate on the chat and fly the ship successfully. So I'm a little bit slow responding. Normally I'd be playing Mysteries of the Sith, which is a little bit easier to talk to people when I'm playing, because you can just, you know, stop at a quiet moment. Whereas with this, there aren't that many quiet moments. Oh, I guess I didn't really use a fire. I'd hoped just to get a hit off, never mind. I guess I'm not going to be able to hit those. They got even more than high bombers launching. Come on, Sisters Almas freighters, you should be able to finish your boarding operation by now. Got 8 minutes and 45 seconds left on the mission. That's one done. Andrew, hello. I'm glad I could catch you. I'm having a great time playing this. Well, I've only been playing it on the stream for the last hour, so I haven't got too far with it, but I think it's great. Getting a lot of nostalgia, and it's going to make it out to the Empire. Well, working on it harder because I'm going to want to play this. Sorry, I'm afraid I had to shoot your side bomber. I'm afraid you're going to have to build another one. we can just not die, we should be fine. Ah! What part of the project did you work on? Because so far I like everything I've seen. I like the way it plays. Looking forward to the TIE Fighter support when that's ready. What's this game on? It's the X-Wing Virtual Machine, which is a free mod of sorts that lets you run the original X-Wing game, but on modern computers with vastly updated graphics. Obviously you need a copy of the original game, which you can get from Steam or from GOG.com. But the VM mod itself is free. Right, where's that last freighter? There it is. Ah, very nice. So I'm afraid I have blown up some of your TIE bombers. I haven't seen the gunboat or the Calamari cruiser yet. I did play a mission with satellites, but I died before I even got to have a good look at those. But I will say, nice work on the TIE bomber. Alright, time to go. Justin, I can highly recommend it. Alright, let me have a quick... I was going to wrap up the stream, but I'll load up the mission just to have a look at the cruiser. I won't play the mission, but let's have a look at the ship. It's getting late, so I need to head off to bed shortly. But there we go, let's have a look at the mission. "26 kills, not bad. A-Wing, mission 5. There we go. I won't worry too much about the mission briefing. We'll just fly up to the ship and have a look. But you're right. Supposedly, every Calamari cruiser is supposed to be a completely unique ship, which is obviously not practical for gaming, for making games, but we'll fly over and have a look. Oh, right. Well, it already looks pretty impressive. Oops. Right, I like that you can see into the hangar. Look at the detail in the hangar as well. This thing took forever to build. You know, I'm not surprised. I mean, if you had to do all of this, I can imagine that it would take a while. Can you fly into it? You can fly into it. Very nice. Oh, that looks like the other A-wing's about to go in. Let's have another look around the ship. See some turbo laser cannons. This thing is huge as well. You get a real sense of scale with it, which I think the original game didn't have because I think they were limited by the models they could create for the game at the time. But here, obviously you can make something a bit bigger. Lots of detail on the engines there as well. I really like what you've done with it. We'll give it another pass and then I'll end the mission. All those little windows on there. Yeah, you should be really proud of that. Very impressive piece of work. I look forward to seeing the other ships you worked on as well as I play more of the game. But, yeah. Well, I do need to wrap up the stream and head off to bed. It's getting very late. But this was great fun. I remembered how much fun I did have playing the game originally. So, it's nice to be able to play it again. And looking so good. I will look forward to keeping up with updates as the year goes on. Yeah, I only downloaded it earlier, so this is my first time playing it properly. Well, I downloaded it, made sure it worked, and the joystick worked with it, but before the stream. But this is my first time actually playing it properly, so I really enjoyed that. I always liked the idea of being a pilot in Star Wars, so it's kind of rekindled that a little bit. So yeah, thank you, and thank you so much for coming by and checking out the stream, and I hope this is as well received as it was here, because I really enjoyed it. Alright, so thank you everyone for coming. Did take a break from Mysteries of the Sith to try this out, which I'm really glad I did, because I really enjoyed playing this, which I have said many times already. So that's it for tonight. The Heir to the Empire remaster continues apace. almost halfway there as far as chapter count and scene count. I'm going to set up a long one to render overnight, and tomorrow I need to finish off rendering another clip from the last long render, because there were some settings that were slightly off, but I only need to re-render that small bit, not the whole thing, thankfully. But we soon get to the part where I was already rendering with NVIDIA Omniverse, which should speed up the process a little bit, because all the scenes are done. So it's only if I need to tweak anything, rather than convert the whole scene over to Omniverse. So, yep, so that's it. May the Thrawn be with you. Take care, good night, and see you all next time. Take care.